So in the Go Prayer book, turn to page 27, and we'll chant the 7-limb prayer. Page 27 in the Go Prayer book. Yeah, it is. It's on. Number 1. Green light is on. Hello, 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 hello. It's on. Gosum gupe gone chatselo ngshami tu cheti malubu tomene sadi tuntam cheshak kepagewanam la sheyirang korwa matom bardu le shune drola cheki kolo korwa dang da shengenan chanchu chenpo. Please turn to page 97. And we'll chant the short mandala offering at the bottom of the page. Sashi perki shushi meto Dagi chushin jebe sunam ji dola penchu sanke tu pasho Jantoki chonam la janchu bardu dani kyapsu chi Dagi chushin dola penchu sanke tu pasho Sanje chedan soje chonam la chanchu bardu dani kyapsu chi Dagi chushin jebe sunam ji dola penchu sanke tu pasho Nide shiwa sonda kushin nije nije dunze kaya nanda lama baja nanda nije nije dunze baka kanda ya dande betuna Namba kunde nanda nima nide chancho sebe doja sanje jine yanda lo kange tenjen dewa gaba meba che meba chebar meba ta meba huwa meba ndo meba tate teme tije me tiba nije shideba Zobe Sanje Manam Damba de Lancha Lo Kange Tuze Newson and the one of the Bamesh. Tamesh and the Bogodam de Lancha. Welcome back. Welcome back to the class. Frog, you cannot see frog's eye. You need to go like this. Yeah. Welcome back to the class. So, maybe would you mind to take 1 minute to introduce yourself to each other? 1 minute, yeah. Because the Wednesday class now getting a little bit bigger and bigger, so. Hello, how are you?
I'm Tom.
Tom, yeah, I remember
Come
you.
up to you this time.
Yeah, I remember you with the bike.
Yeah, I've contained it this time.
Where you live?
Like 2 blocks down the street.
Oh,
I can
very
just
good.
walk here.
I thought you are living very far away because you are yeah. It's safe to drive the bike. Your bike's big.
I actually don't have a bike. My hair just looks
Ah,
silly.
you don't bike? No, like a motorbike.
Nope, just walk.
Oh, so somebody, maybe I'm confused, but somebody's coming with somebody driving.
Somebody is, yeah. I'm still not sure who that is. I see the bike, but I've never seen this guy.
You walk? How long you been coming here?
January.
Oh, good. Okay, wonderful.
Thank you,
Good.
man.
Okay.
Thank you for teaching.
Oh, yeah. Hello, welcome back.
We missed you.
Oh, I miss you too.
Thank you.
2-hour drive?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Come on Saturdays.
Oh, thank you for coming. People enjoy talking. People enjoy talking. Very, very good. Yeah, very good. Oh yeah. Thank you. Very good. For the reference, so this, just want to repeat this title. So again, title of this text. Tawe ne, tawa literally means view. Here refers to middle view, or shunyata, or emptiness. Okay. Ne means like the critical point. Critical point of view here means the middle way. Okay, middle way, or shunyata. The chung is like the small note. Oh, because it's only a few pages. That's why Paul called small. Shindo sama, very secret. Mudu kunjung means source of all the goodness. So now, how you say altogether in English? Tawende tembi chungs means like the small footnote which explains the critical point of middle way view. Then the very secret source of all the goodness. So now somebody needs to put it together. For the reference, so then composed by 4th Panchen Lama in Trashinabo Monastery back in Tibet. 4th Panchen Lama, composed by 4th Panchen Lama back in Tibet in Trashinabo Monastery back in Tibet, long time ago. Thomas, how you put it? Now tell the title in English.
A short note explaining the critical point of the middle way view. Geshe, it's very sacred, not very secret, right?
Secret, not sacred.
Secret.
No sacred, very
Okay.
secret.
Very secret source of all goodness.
Oh, so I'm hoping it will be shorter in English, but the same as probably longest in the same, yeah. So for the reference, composed by 4th Panchen Lama in Trashinabo Monastery back in Tibet, for the reference. So here, what we are learning, what we are trying to learn is like how to cease all the problems, not just few, all of them. Another question is that possible? Is that possible? Is that possible? So that's what we're learning here, how to stop all the problems. Of course, including probably aging, death. That also include there too. Ke ga na ke birth na sicknesses ga aging cure death. All of that included there too. So all the how we are learning how to stop all the problems. So in order to find that out, first we need to understand what is the root of all these problems. What's the root, okay? So that's what we are learning for the sake of knowledge. Because we already found the base, which is this human life, the base, which is according to Lamrim teaching, which is very precious, very meaningful, so difficult to find and very rare. So that's what we have. That's what we have. That's how meditation on emptiness began reflecting the preciousness of your life. So this is so precious, so rare, so meaningful, so difficult to find. So now make sure that I get most out of this. Get most out of this. Most out of this. So how you get most out of this? So now here, how to take most out of this precious human life. There's like how to do that based on the technique or method. The best technique or best method, okay? Ranjuji nimo paja da cheba tsawa ni pambe Lamrim Chenmo tebe tabla beba chawa yin las. Ranjuji nimo paja da cheba tsawa ni pambe mainly is referring to fully enlightenments, to making, putting effort for that, in order to achieve, to achieve full enlightenment, which is like free from all the delusions and with the tendencies, not just delusions, with the tendencies. So that's the state that's free from that. So putting effort for that cause means like that for fully enlightenment. That's the goal. Okay. Teya comes on. Some of you probably drove here 2 hours, so that's the reason I'm explaining this text as detailed as possible. Then you'll learn something. Okay. Teya comes on koa de meba slavzu lujamba lunga the dungajiran chili madelas. Kamsum 3 realms. Desire realm, form realm, formless realm, 3 realm, kamsum. Korwa, samsara, cyclic existence or samsara, kamsum koa. So like all this realm is part of samsara, It doesn't matter you're born in like form realms, relatively has much less problems compared to desire realm, but still you are part of samsara. You are not free from samsara. Kamsum koa the meba this is, there will be complications. If you are part of desire realm, there will be complications. If you're part of form realm, there will be no complications. No, it's not, those 3 realms is not free from complications. There will be all kinds of complications. That's the nature of samsara. It's not there's something that you are doing wrong, but that's the nature of samsara. So it's very important to understand that. Otherwise, according to Buddhism, perfection is beyond samsara. It's like nirvana. That's a perfection. Here, there's no perfections, unfortunately. Why? Because everything comes with a complication. That's why there's no perfections. Tata dewa nawa di tamche ni dunga ngama re gaba le dewe loche wa inji tuandaba dewa mimba. So all the pleasure, pleasant experience, pleasure through five senses. These are all temporary. It's not like it's not like ultimate happiness. It's just temporary. It's just like you just overcome from some difficulties. Then that is called a level as a pleasure or happiness. So that's not like the pleasure or happiness that you experience because you cease some problem. It's not like that. It's just overcoming from, like say if you are very hungry, so when you eat food, then you feel good. That's just temporary happiness. It won't last very long. And so for the sake of knowledge, we need to understand that. So then more likely you'll not go out of your mind. So otherwise we think, okay, well, so why I'm not happy? So that's the way it is. So that's not, it's not like ultimate happiness. Ranju nimu di pong matuba di kaja do song chin ji je nimu be on the doors. So see, you think about it, okay? You think about, is that possible? Is that possible? Root out all the disturbing thought? Is not. Is it possible or not? You need to think about that, okay? If it is possible, then of course you need to put some effort to liberate yourself from all this disturbing thought, which is the source of all the complications. Ranju nimo ba di pong ma to ba di kaja do song chinji nyume ba on the dos, nim chije nimo on the dos. Lineage on the song chin rala ra kaya mela so. We have very, long as we are under the influence of disturbing thought or delusions, we have very little control. Very little control. So that you can tell. You don't need to meditate. You can just tell. So like using your day-to-day life experience, you can tell. So there's very little control. We have very little control. Long as we are under the influence of disturbing thoughts such as anger, jealousy, pride, arrogance, all of that, so on and so forth. Teya mitaba kijiki judowa yidemiru shiklas. Then not just that. Not just that, so long as we are under the influence of disturbing thought, we have very little control. Very little control. Not just that, then on top of that, everything constantly changing. Everything constantly changing, whether you like or not, it's changing. It's the nature of things. You can't go against them, So everything constantly changing. Kijiki judo, kiji means, so that's hard to see. Momentary change is hard to perceive unless you really concentrate. Otherwise everything looks same thing, but it's not same. It's changing, constantly changing, moment by moment, but cannot see. So only the gross change, like glass breaks, people die, house fall apart. These are gross change that you see, but the subtle change you can see. But on top of that, everything is constantly changing. Therefore, it's not really reliable. It's not really reliable. Everything changes. So then, like the Cham usually means hanging out. I think that's how you say in America. Cham literally means hanging out. Hanging out without control. What do you think? When we hang out, do we have control or no? Rawa meba means no without control. Rawa meba, chamari dungari tadu means. Hanging out without control is like this is Rawa. That's part more difficult one. Spinning out.
Well, hanging out means getting together. This means doing nothing, kind of. Oh, doing nothing.
Oh, hanging out means getting together.
Yeah.
Oh, that I'm sorry for that. So, sorry, sorry for that mistake. Chum means like like wandering around, wandering.
Yeah.
Wandering around, wandering.
Hanging out can kind of mean that. It's just doing nothing.
Yeah, wandering around,
Okay.
like
No particular goal, just wandering.
yeah. We usually don't have particular goal. We just wander around.
Yeah.
Do you have particular goal?
Not if you're hanging out.
Frog, are you hanging out here
Yeah.
with the cats?
Hanging out with you here.
Oh, hanging out with the cat and the mother cat and the baby cat. Ram chum literally means as going places, going places. Going places. Chum. Maybe wandering. Dunga meba or the Rala meba chamba, Rala meba chamba. Yeah, we may think I have control, but reality, practically, we don't have really control. Yeah, when negative mindset rise, how much control you have, unless you are very mindful, then you may have some control. Otherwise, you'll be dragged out, dragged down by your disturbing thought. So that means you don't have control. If you have control, then you stop. You stop the disturbing thought. That means whenever you start to stop the disturbing thought, then you do have some control. Otherwise, if you cannot control your disturbing thought, then you don't have control, because your life is very much under the influence of disturbing thought. So you act or do things based on that thought. So that means you don't have control. So once you gain some control through meditations, then minute that thought rise, then you sit back and you pause, then you think precisely, then you stop the thought, at least not act on that particular thought. There's something can be done, or destroy that very thought based on some knowledge, deeper understanding of, the teachings. You can stop. So that means you are gaining some control over your disturbing thoughts. So then, in that case, you do have some controls. Otherwise, if you just act, every thought that rises, if you just act on that thought, that means you don't have control. You are controlled by your thought, not you control your thought. Your thought controls you. That means you don't have control. Make sense? Oh, that's what it means. Okay, if you elaborate. So here it's very, very important to understand the nature of samsara. What is samsara? Samsara is full of complication. That's what samsara is. Should not be surprised when things get complicated. Should not be surprised. If you're really sick of all this complication that you experience, then it's time to liberate. It's time to liberate yourself for good. That means being mindful of every thought that rises, being mindful how to tackle each and every one of them based on deeper understanding of the teachings, and how to confront them, learn how to digest them without hurting yourself. Like, peacock, become like peacock. Peacock, when they eat poison, they glow and they shine. Frog, so crow, when they consume poison, they die. means basically means not really die, means like a frog. When they consume poison, they do die. So this is like analogy they use, somebody who does not know any practice, when they are consumed disturbing thought, basically they are finished. People who don't know some practices, when they consume disturbing thought, they are not going to probably die, but they probably will glow like peacock. They will glow. So because they don't react, they sit and they think and they think and they think, and slowly their disturbing thought will not get any chance to rise. Or then not just rise, to then become very active. First rise, then become active, then cause problems. So disturbing thought won't get even any chance at all to the best case to rise. So even though it rises, so then will not become very active. Okay, so means person will not act on their thought. So that person will somehow manage to tackle or control or stop that thought for their own sake of their own happiness. So then you do have some controls. Whenever you encounter somebody who's very physically very disturbing, physically very disturbing, shouting, yelling, screaming, and mentally very much under the influence of anger, hatred, jealousy, pride, arrogance. When you encounter that, there's two choices. You have two choices. Or you are just caught into their wave of energy, negative energy they created by their actions and thought. You can just get caught into that wave, or that's more likely that could happen. Another alternative choice is to sit back, think. The best to see that very person as a precious jewel. That's hard things to do. Doesn't mean impossible. It is very possible, but it's very hard things to do. It's not easy. It's not a piece of cake. It's not a piece of cake. So that's what then based on that, what we should do. So each person needs to make decisions what you should do. Protect your peace of mind or destroy your peace of mind. It's up to you. If you really want to protect your peace of mind, so then can react right away, need to think. If that person has some kind of problem with the tourists. Some people, they just can't control what they say. They just say again. First, you kind of surprised. Whoa. It's not it's loud. You don't know what to make up, and kind of surprised. And you hear again, then you realize that person's sick. So then you feel bad. Not you don't see that person as a precious jewel, but you feel bad. Why you feel bad? Now you realize that person's sick. Same thing. When people are shouting, screaming, yelling out of disturbing thought, they are sick. Their sicknesses, disturbing thought. Their sickness has never been healed. So maybe based on that, maybe it's possible to have some sympathy. Some sympathy. When you have sympathy, your peace of mind is protected. If you are angry, you are finished. You are finished. Oh? So that's just like that. So now, what is the root of all this? The problems, all the problems that we experience. No matter what you do, there's always something. No matter what we do, there's always something. Something to complain, something that you don't like. It's the nature of samsara. So now what's the root? What is the root? It's the disturbing thought, unhealthy thought. That's the root of all these problems. Just sit back and just pause and visualize. Can you imagine that life without disturbing thought? Can you imagine what that life will be like? Life without disturbing thought. No matter what people say, what people do, you are not disturbed. Can you imagine that? So many things probably happening in the surface level, but deep down there's always calm, peaceful. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So, the power of the thought cannot be underestimated. Underestimated. Power of thought cannot be underestimated. Even one can burn their body because power of thought, they can burn their body. So that happens. I think like during the Vietnam War, some monks, they just put gas on themselves, they just set fire and just sit. Power of the thought cannot be underestimated. Power of thought cannot be underestimated. See, like giving eyes. If somebody wants eyes, just give eyes. Something. This power of thought, so cannot be underestimated. I think it's very possible. So now, here, according to this text, root of all this problem is disturbing thought, unhealthy mind, unhealthy mind. So now, okay, root of all the problem is disturbing thought. What is the root of that? Where disturbing thought rooted? Is deeply rooted into self-grasping mind. Self-grasping mind? Danzi. So for the sake of knowledge, the order needs to be understood clearly. If you really want to tackle the root of all the problems, that order needs to be understood. Nimo tamji tawa danzi. Danzi di. So now that's the one needs to tackle. That's the one needs to understood clearly in order to stop the root of all the problems. Okay? Danzi dini shiyu tela mebashi yobasuni atis. What is self-grasping mind? What is self-grasping mind? Self-grasping mind is the mind that grabs so tightly on self that you have no clue. So now, meditate. Am I my body? Am I a solid part of my body? Everything that's solid. Am I solid part of my body? Jivosami Chumai. Am I the movement of my body that refers to water? Because of the water, that things that move, if there's no liquid, cannot move. Because the solid part, that's like the earth element. The movement caused by the water element, all the movement. Am I my movement by my body? That's how you guide into meditation of emptiness on Shunyata. Jebosami Chumai. Memi. Am I heat in my body? Am I heat in my body? Am I oxygen that I breathe? Am I space in my body? Space in my body. Am I six senses of my body, six senses of my body? Then your answer will be no, 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 no. If your answer is yes, then further debate is needed. Further debate is needed, or with someone else or yourself, with yourself. So if your answer is like no, 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 who am I? Who am I? Where is self? Or who am I? Where is self or who am I? Where is Geshe Gelek? Who is Geshe Gelek? Where is Geshe Gelek? Kebu come to division, Geshe Gelek, now then further down. Kebu come to divisions. The Geshe Gelek has a then you realize it's not like each time when you feel strong sense of self, usually we don't bother to analyze. We don't bother to analyze. We just go with that. We just go with that. We don't bother to analyze. Once you start to analyze, you can't really pinpoint. Something that's so upset, you can't pinpoint. You cannot find. Cannot find. Does not mean it doesn't exist. It does not exist the way we perceive. That's why it's called conventional reality. It doesn't call ultimate reality. It's called conventional reality because the way we perceive, the way they exist is different. Make sense? Where they appear and where they exist is different. That's why it's called conventional reality. It's not ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is the way it appears and the way it exists is the same thing. There's no difference. There's no difference. So now it's like Geshe Gelek is mainly level on this aggregate, collection of the six elements: earth, water, fire, wind or air, space, consciousness. The level, Geshe Gelek. So that's not how we see things. We think, oh, Geshe Gelek is something solid, who speak broken English last 20 years. His English never been improved. Oh, sorry, bad joke. Sorry. Cannot go beyond conventional reality. Cannot see. Just the quote there. Oh yeah. So that's so that's what is the root of all the problem? Disturbing thought. Where the disturbing thought rooted is rooted into self-grasping mind. What is self-grasping mind? Mind that grabs so tightly on self. Now, what is self? Then you go through that. Maybe this very self that you grasp so tightly does not exist at all. Does not exist. Does not exist. See, so that's for the sake of knowledge, okay? Danzu di shinyu tuyanla meba shik yoba suni atesu shenpa shi so other shenpa shi so. Like, same when you go to magic shows, they show all kinds of things, cutting people in half. What you see person was cut in half, still moving, legs moving, eyes moving, doing all kinds of things, and the body is like cup. Then all kinds of emotion rise based on that. Not just see, So seeing is not that bigger problems. Believing in what you see, believing in that, then all kind of emotion rise based on what? Based on something that does not exist at all. What happened when that very person that standing up after the show is over, standing walking around? What happened? All these emotions that based on that person has been cut in half. What happened? It's all gone. Why you find out there's no truth? You find out there's no truth, it's all gone like that. That's just an example. All kinds of things happen in musicians. If you realize emptiness, you still see all these shows. It doesn't mean that they don't exist. You still see. What's the difference? You don't believe what you see. Like musicians don't believe what they see, but audience not just see, they believe what they see. So then there's they got so excited. They all kind of all this excitement builds on something that's completely trick. Is not there's no truth at all. Like that happens. Similar here. Teya toma mebane rangi toma mebane se ranglo maribe true on the song de namje saji ji phungbo da chokba saji ji phungbo tangs body based on this body physical body phungbo tang je chokba phungbo saji ji phungbo tangs chokba means collection of all this 6 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, space, consciousness, called 6 elements. Sometimes you see 4 elements. So when you see the preflex, there's no like consciousness there. There's different element. So that collection of all these elements and the body. That's how we say I. Whenever you say I, myself, pretty much based on that collection of 6 elements and based on this body. Based on this body, then you say I. Tana ni lobe milam sunje duang nganyambe lo ngangi ches. This like sense of self is very spontaneous. It's very spontaneous. Spontaneous? Yeah, it's very spontaneous. It's spontaneous. While we are awake, while we are sleeping, it's very spontaneous. Happens. So that's just nature. Teya ranglutunde sajiji phungbu sopa dila nganyamdo phungbu tena rangene tsutuk tela yobashi nawa chazu te ngotashi go. So now it's time to analyze. Each time when you say I analyze, how you analyze the experience of that I or self, analyze. I'm very irritated. Usually we don't analyze, we just go with that. So whenever you say, I'm very irritated, so then if you sit back and pause and analyze, the very I that irritated, how you find, how you am I making sense? When you are very irritated by watching news, or not watch news, so there's no need to analyze. When you're irritated, so that's that's the very step, that's the very first step that we take in order to go deep into shunyata, deep into meditation on emptiness. Analyze your experience of yourself. Analyze whenever you say, oh, I was treated so badly. Analyze. If you scream, if you think that you are treated so unfairly or so badly, if you scream, you lose the chance to analyze. That you don't analyze. You are not analyzing. You are screaming. That's not how to analyze. That's not the way to analyze the self. So first step, all my friends, first step, need to analyze as much as possible throughout the day. Whenever you say, so then need to analyze. Need to analyze that experience thoroughly. Yeah, if you see some kind of like very scary appearance or image, if you see, when you analyze, if you cannot find, the fear is gone because you can't find. If you're believing in that, so then all kind of emotion rise. Like that. So that experience of self is very spontaneous while you are awake, and while we are sleeping is very spontaneous. So there's a lot of opportunity to analyze. It's not like, a sense of self rise once a day. That would be wonderful news. So then you have to be more careful to use that opportunity. It's only rise one a day. So that's not the case. It rises all the time. There's a lot of opportunity to analyze. That's the first, my friend, that's the first step. Okay, in order to go deep into Shunyata, that's the first step, to analyze, to try to find out. Okay, then tenga rano tunde saji fungu dilla, saji fungu soba dilla nga, nyamdu fungu tenna rangen ne sutu tena yobashi nawa, motishukus. Need to understand, need to find out how sense of self rise based on what. Need to find that out. It's like sense of self rising based on this aggregate, very aggregate that people see me. So now, then after that, am I my body? Am I my movement, a body? Then you go through that. Okay, so there's the second step. Need to find out. It's very important. Need to find out. So now the Lama is giving this. I already said this example many times. And Lama said, for example, Tsemosa, in the evening or in a dark place, there's not much light. Tsemo means actually it's at night time. Tsemo mame nawa laje, chame tima tabushi tonga naje. Mame nawa la chame tima, so the tima means shadow. And here there's a broom, shadow of broom. So here you don't have broom. You have like vacuum cleaner. you don't have broom. So it can be translated to vacuum cleaner. Okay, at night vacuum cleaner or your shoes, any object that you have in the house. You saw some kind of shadow of things in your house. Low trueness. So then, with mistaken mind, not with unmistaken mind, with the mistaken mind, then you start to see some kind of like living beings. Could be cockroach. So let's use cockroach or something, I'm not sure, like any living with this kind of moving around. Could be mice, or could be cockroach, could be spider, whatever. Lotune divaras tabe simjeshik tena do you thought, there's something there moving. Actually it is the shadow of something, but then with mistaken mind, that shadow start to move have some kind of movement, then you thought there's something there. Do nyam do jigba chaba, do the jigba chaba nas. So then like that generate some level of fear being generated based on that. T says rangi loy nangzu la tabanas. Tabana rangi loy sebe nawa michaba. So then after that, when you try to analyze the very thought that sees shadow is something moving, when you start to analyze that very thought, so now I think how many times people do, I'm not sure, to analyze the thought. Even somebody try to analyze the very mindset, they start to see shadow as some kind of living beings. So even though somebody try to analyze their thought, then you don't see that it's okay, projected by my mind. You don't see that. It's projected by my mind. What you see is like, is something from there, is something there, moving. It's like some scary bug or insect or spider. So some people are not after a spider, some people are very after a frog, some people are not after a frog. So so one of my friends, now he's no longer monk, but he was very after a frog. So monastery, you know, every class, first we, so there's class, all the classmates together, you debate. Then after that, there's like prayer gatherings, so then everybody get together, then there's recite, there's like number of prayer you recite every day, in the morning, in the evening. So then after that, so then there's debate one-on-one, so you can choose anybody from any class to ask them to debate with you. So you can do that. So during the prayer gathering, it's outside. So I think that now it's become part of library in monastery, but we used to do prayer there. Now this whole monastery been very much developed. When I was there, so that's very small. So there's like outdoor, kind of like auditorium, small auditoriums. So that's where the abbot and the chanting master sit. It has shadows. Roof, rest, there's no roof. It's outside. So this comes square auditorium, what do you call? Outdoor auditorium.
Courtyard or courtyard atrium?
Yes, whatever that's called. So that, so then the side of there, you know, there's small hole where I sit, usually where I sit. You sit by class, you know, you don't like sit wherever you want. You sit by, if you are not like, it's like hierarchy based on the class, you know, so higher class, that you sit close to the chanting master. If you're sitting there, there's one hole on the side of the wall. There's one frog lives there, maybe one or few frogs lives there. Each time we pray together, frog is coming out. Frog is coming out of there. So my friend is sitting there, I'm sitting here. Some of my friends, classmates. It's not nice thing to do, but we caught the frog and throw on him. He just make a lot of noise and he just jump out and got problem with the discipliner. You know, so some more they can catch any frog they can just catch like that. Not afraid. So I'm not sure something to do with what. I'm not. Some people are afraid, some people are not afraid. Not sure. So anyway, that sorry. So this, no, sorry for that nonsense stories. So kind of remember. So anyway, so then you start to see. This is tuna tela tabe jidat na dunga tamje. So this is tuna te now. There's some mistake. The fear is this. The fear that you're experiencing, the very fear that you're experiencing, on top of that, all kind of mindset, you know, based on that fear that you are going through is based on mistake. Tunante se matup na telatene. If you don't find out whether that's real or not, it's like a mistake or real, then all this emotion will be there longer period of time. Tunante se telatene jiktata dunga jingos, so then problems. Based on the fear, the problem, some kind of problems. Teishindu lewankiji, sajiji pungbu dubata ngawo nyamdu, rangi lue pasuwa yinla, tetatu, teishindu likewise. Sajiji pungbo diwa ngawo nyamdo rangi lue parsuwa hinas pungbo dila. The believing that your body is you, your body is you, your body is, if you think that your body is that's you, so that is mistaken. The collection of this six element, and the sixth element, if you believe that's me, that's mistaken. Ngawo nyamdo lue parsuwa hinas. That's your mind just made that up. Your mind just made that up. Is that true? Need to analyze. Is that true? Need to analyze. Can tell. Need to analyze. So why we are doing that, who knows? You could say, who knows? Here said Lewang. Out here, what it says, here it says, again need to find out whatever you don't need to agree whatever is said here, but need to find out, need to use your brain, need to find out. Lewankis. Lewang, le means, influence, all the influence of karma, that's why we see this body is me. Is that right? Hard to say. If it's not right, out the influence of karma, what else? What else? What else? Okay, what else? Question means why we see this body as a me. Why? According to this text, it says under the influence of karma. Is that correct? If not, then why? Why we see? So here, there's like, you just made it up. You just made it up. That's not real. But that's not how we see. That's not how we see. We don't say, oh, I just call this body as me, but actually it's not me. We don't do that, but we just make it, this is me, so then we just believe. Says there's truth in seeing is not that big a problem, but believing in, so that bigger problems. Parso teta to michawa lotune pumbutin suru satengewa to nangos. We don't see, oh, I just made this up, I just call my body is Geshe Gelek. Actually, it's not Geshe Gelek. I just made it up. That's not how we see. Whenever you have this strong sense of a Geshe Gelek, is like something independent, inherent. So so need to analyze. Sade chawa to nangwaja. Tuna tela tene. So then based on the mistake that you made in your house during the night time, seeing some kind of shadow, that mistake, the shadow is mistaken with some creatures, then based on that all kind of emotion arise. And so only way you can overcome from those fears, anxiety, is to find out the truth. Find out the truth. Similar here. Find out the, so that based on that mistaken as the identity of yourself, and you may think it's my body, but it's actually it's not. but we don't. But you are mainly level on your aggregate. You are called Geshe Gelek based on your appearances. Your appearances, that's called based on that you call Geshe Gelek. But this body is self continues. It will continue. It has been continued. It's part of the much, much bigger river than just river you see now in Alabama. So that river is associated with Alabama. Alabama is right there. No, it's not there. This body. So when it disappears, when you disappear, when you don't see like this, so then does that mean that you disappear? How to say? Is this game over? How to say? This just like a rented house. You're just using. But people, they're living in the house. There's not the house. It's somebody who rent the house. It's not the house. It's not the house. No, but you call John's residence. You call your house after your name, John's residence, or Tashi's house. But that's level of the house based on your name. But this no like that. So and when with on that mistaken identity or mistaken idea, so then all kind of emotions rise: attachment, anger, resentment, jealousy, pride, so on and so forth. Shall down so nimona so case. The base doesn't exist. The base, very base, all this rise is not exist, but it's all rise. You cannot say, oh, that's not true. Emotion does not arise because there's no base. Yeah, there is base that mistaken. Or if the base is not mistaken, then emotion cannot rise. What happened to the shadow? You see a piece of rope, you see it's a snake, and you believe the snake, but actually it's just a piece of rope. But there's all kinds of emotions rise. You can't say, oh, there's a piece of rope, how you can have fear. Yeah, people do have fear based on the rope. There's sitting like snake, kind of, there's like kind of coil, what is it? Coil. And a little bit dark, not much light. And yeah, rattlesnake. You label the rattlesnake. So all kind of emotions rise. You cannot say, oh, this mistaken emotion cannot rise. What happened there? That clearly proves. You can say, oh, the mistaken identity, then based on that, then attachment, anger, so on and so forth rise. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, it is right. No, it's like look at the shadow of something. Oh. Then based on that, of course, we act. Each time when we act, then we create karma. Each time when we act, there's actions. That means karma. So that's why it's called cyclic existence. It just goes round and round, round and round, round and round, round and round. It never ends. It just goes round and round. For the sake of knowledge, now that's how you explain. Next time if somebody asks, what is cyclic existence? That's how you cycles. Cycles are existing. So now, what do you mean meditating on emptiness? Meditation on emptiness. What do you mean meditation on emptiness? Meditation on emptiness, what it means eliminating mistaken identity that we hold so tightly, we grab so tightly. Eliminating that identity is called meditating on emptiness, or shunyata. Make sense? What do you mean meditation on emptiness? What it means? It means eliminating the very identity of yourself that you grab so tightly. Find that out, figure that out, how you like. That's what it means. That's what it means. Meditating on emptiness. That's what it means. See, it's important. Danju tuna sewa le tawa gums. Danju tuna sewa tawa gums. Danju true nawa sewa le tawa gums. This is the one critical point that needs to be understood. One critical point that needs to be understood. Danju true nawa danji self-grasping mind. True nawa self-grasping mind, grasping so tightly on something that does not exist at all. Similar here, mind that grasping so tightly on snake that does not exist at all. It's just when you shade more light, it's a piece of rope. It's your shoelace. It's your shoelace that you are just throw there. It's your shoelace. Then when you find that out, it's kind of joke, then you kind of laugh and it's kind of joke. So that's why once you understand emptiness, you don't take anything seriously. Everything's like illusions. That's what happens. Now, once you find out this piece of rope, then what do you think? It's funny? Once you find out this piece of rope, what kind of experience after that rise? What kind of experience that rise?
Relief.
Oh, relief. That's a good one. What else?
You laugh at yourself.
Huh?
Laugh at yourself, at your own fear.
Oh, so that's because now what? That's illusions. You are hallucinated by something that you projected. You are hallucinated by something that you projected. It's not there. You projected, you hallucinated. So that's what happens when you come out of meditation on emptiness. Everything you see. Do you see? Of course you see. Doesn't mean when you realize emptiness, doesn't mean everything will disappear. That's called nihilism. That's not one extreme view. So there's big problems. When you come out of that emptiness, when you realize emptiness, death, aging, sicknesses, birth, these all illusions. It's all illusions. There's big relief. It's big relief. Before it's something very serious. Something very, now there's nothing serious. Nothing serious. Oh, so yes, as I mentioned before, power of the mind cannot underestimate it. Power of mind cannot underestimate it. So that's how you get, enlightened. That's how you see emptiness. Then maybe say, okay, a few more lines. Okay, we go this slowly, because this is how to tackle the root of all the problems. These important things. So important things, and plus there's only not much page, not many page, very few page. So this is now we are learning how to do meditation on emptiness for what? To seize the root of all the problems. That's okay. Then what is meditation? What do you mean meditation on emptiness? Meditation on emptiness means find out through thorough analysis of experience of self, find out what is self. That's called meditation on emptiness. One critical point. Ranjuji Nimola to Mareba Tawananda Myosung. Without that, there will be no pure meditation on emptiness. It's just these people just call. But without that analysis, there will be no true meditation on emptiness. Okay? Tuna te selu ni kondo pe joba tsemu dibana je tabu Whenever you have this kind of experience, seeing piece of rope in your house, there's so many things that contributed because there's not enough light, and there's in the dark, living in the dark. It's not like in the bright light. Nobody will see the piece of rope as a snake. There's so many things contributed to you to see there is a snake. The piece of rope that's laying on the corner of your house, that might light. So, says, whenever you have this kind of experience, what do you need to do? What do you need? You need more light to find out. So here probably it's very easy, you just turn on the light. There you have to have some kind of like Latin. Use kerosene, you have to find out, clean the glass. If it's dark, to light it, or then you have to carry it. Can't just turn on something that will bright all the light. Then you have to carry more problems. Here you just turn on, it's finished. So that's how you find out. Now the Miki. So you need to turn on the light, and you need eyes to see. If you don't have eyes to see, you can't see, even though you can turn on the light. Then you look around. Then you find out that's just my shoelace. Pieces of rope. Oh, Miki you may leave standing nebana. Ranglo tuna tedana wa mado tena kai midunye tingne lota shoboju. Now you are 100% convinced there's no snake. There's no snake because now you find out truth. Now you are 100% convinced based on bright light and with your own eye. Now you are 100% convinced there's no snake. All this fear, anxiety disappear. It's not like, oh, maybe there might be some other snakes around there. It's not like that. You are 100% convinced. Now there's no snake. All this fear and all the difficulties that based on fear is completely disappeared. Because you found the truth. You found the truth. With the bright light and with your own eyes. Likewise, Sajiji Pumpu Soba did nga, Toba did nga nyamto. Sates to now tunandi lame mengangi dreams. So this teaching here, this teaching is like light. This teaching is like light, it will shade. It's light. Mistaken that, believing that my body is me, that's like seeing a snake, piece of rope, label, projected as a snake, but it's actually not snake, it's just a piece of rope. It's just aggregate, it's not you, it's just aggregate. But right now, that's what I call me, that's my body, that people see, that's me. That's like piece of rope that you project is like snake. So that's exactly what's happening here. It's just projected, or John. Oh, that's John. No, John projected. It's very vivid. It's very real. It's not just fuzzy. It's very vivid. It's very real. Same like that. It's very vivid. It's very real. Need to find out. Tuna DJ. Lame mengagi dremas. So now the teaching here, instruction is like light. It's like light. You turn on the light, it's light. Like light, okay? Sherab Jimik, the wisdom is like your eye. You could have light. If you cannot see, then there's no way to find out truth. You need both. You need light and you need eye to see. Here, eye is like wisdom. Not just go with that. Wisdom is to analyzing, to analyze, to find out, analyze. Thorough analysis with the light, in this case, is the instructions or teachings. I, in this case, is like wisdom, your own wisdom, ability to analyze. So now then what will you find out? You will find out rope, just rope. Or you will find out, you will find out it's just my body. It's not really me, it's just body. It's just body. It's called Geshe Gelek. It's not just never jula. T is a Ranglo Mari Betu on Gitana Mado, not on a minute. Then similarly, then you say, okay, with my mistaken mind, I call this body is me, but actually it's not me. That's what you find out. So we'll stop here. So now you find out. You already found emptiness. So we stop there. So hold on, maybe. Okay, we'll stop here now. Time is past. Okay. So then continue next Wednesday. So I'm probably going to repeat this because this is very important. This is important. I will repeat this. So let's stop our dedication. Yeah.
So in the Go Prayer Book, turn to page 191, and recite the praises to the 21 Taras as advised by Lama Tsongkhapa Rinpoche to remove obstacles to the light of the path retreat. From your sublime abode of the Potala, O Tar Porn from the green letter Tam, your crown adorneth Amitabha, action mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times. Tar, please come with your tenants. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara, you who rescue all who are destitute. To you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. Oh, my prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator. Homage Tara, swift heroic, Christ-like, lightning instantaneous, sprung from opening stamens of the Lord of Theories, true bone lotus. Homage she, his face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with light races splendid as a star collection. Homage golden blue and lotus, water-born in hand adorned, giving effort, calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage, crown of Tathagatas, action triumph without limit, relied on by conquerors' children, having reached every perfection. Homage, filling with Sutade, whom desire direction and space, trampling with their feet the 7 worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage, worshipped by the All-Lord, Shakyamuni Buddhia, honored by the host of spirits, corpses, there's Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with her tre and pay sound, destroying post magic diagrams, her feet pressing left out right, blazing in a raging fireplace. Homage to the very dreadful destroyer of Mara's champions, she with frowning lotus visage, who is slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart, her fingers adorn her with 3 jewel mudra. Light ray masses all excited, all directions fields adorn her. Homage, she so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with tutade, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage, she able to summon all earth guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with their home sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage, crown adorned with crescent, moon ornaments most shining, Amitabha in her hair knot, sending out much light eternal. Homage, she with wreath ablaze like the undeading fire abiding, righteous left and joy surround you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage, she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scowling with the letter whom the 7 levels she does conquer. Homage, happy, virtuous, peaceful, she whose field is peace nirvana, she endowed with Om and Soha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage, she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder, freezeth whom in knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage today with seed letter of the shape of syllable, whom Papa Sampson shakes his 3 rows, Meru, Mandara, and Vindhya. Homage holding in her hand the hemorrhagic moon of Deva-like form, with spice spoken Tara and Pei, totally dispelling poison. Homage, she whom gods and their kings and the Kinnaras do honor, armored in our joyful splendor, she dispels bad dreams and conflicts. Homage, she whose 2 eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with Twaisara and Tutare. She dispels the fear contagion, homage full of liberating, power by the set of three natures, dissources of spirits, yakshas, and race corpus supreme Ture. These praises with the rule mantras and prostrations are 21. I'll turn to page 190 for the prayer of the benefits. Whoever is endowed with devotion for the goddess and recites this with supreme faith, remembering at dawn upon waking in the evenings, will be granted all fearlessness, will perfectly pacify all negativities, and will eliminate all unfortunate migrations. The multitudes of conquerors will quickly grant initiation. Thus endowed with this greatness, one will eventually reach the state of a Buddha. If affected by the most terrible poison, whether ingested, drunk, or from a living being, just by remembering will one be thoroughly cleansed. If this prayer is recited 2, 3, or 7 times, it will pacify all the sufferings of torments caused by spears, fevers, and poisons, and by other beings as well. If you wish for a child, you will get a child. If you wish for wealth, you will receive wealth. All your wishes will be fulfilled, and all obstacles pacified. Okay, and so now let's do the dedication prayers on page 235. Gewa di nu du dag lama sangye du gyurne do wa chi kya malupa de sala gurpar shok janchu sem chorim poche ma ke panam ke gyuchik ke wanyam pa me payang gone gondu pelwa shok jampa power jita kempada kundu zampo de yande jingte de da kungi jesu da lochu Gewa di dan tanche rap tungo. Du so shepe gewa tanche ki. Ngowa gana cho tunga pade. Da she gewe tawa di kunkyang. Zampo churche rap tungo wargi. Then the long life prayers, 244 and 245. Ganrira we korwe jinkam de. Pendan dewa malu jungwene. Chenre zigwan tenzing yatsoi, shape site bardu tenju chik. Jonu iya nala wang shortu, awatare tsembara sopa, lozange wede ton le persho, shasyo gengyo lama soade. Tupsu chan jin jang gengewe. Tenzin kyon pewe kunzer dopoze choksum kurwele muntudu padok sodushe kundu japten sho. 7 green Tara mantras, Geshe and Geshe Sangpo's long, healthy, happy life. Om tare tu re so ha. 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 Om tare tu re so ha.